Hey y'all, so I'm gonna talk you through how I turned this ramen noodle box into this nice basket for under $8. I've been seeing a lot of upcycling videos on YouTube and I felt really inspired to create my own for my daughter. Now you can use any type of ribbon that you want. I found these wider strips in the Hobby Lobby, the clearance section. So that's why I chose this. Of course, you will have to get more or less depending on what you use. But I measured the box with the ribbon and I just cut these little strips over and over with about a half inch longer than the actual box. Once I was done with that, I then went and I hot glued each of the ribbons on the box, and you'll see that shortly. This is just me measuring it to see how many strips I would need per box. And the reason why I cut it a half an inch longer is because about a quarter inch needs to be able to tuck on the inside of the box and at the bottom of the box once we're finished. So if you cut at least half inch longer than the box you're using, that should be enough. And you'll repeat this process until you've put the strips around the entire box. Once the box is covered with the vertical ribbons, then you're going to get your ribbon and measure around I believe it's the circumference, and that's what you'll see me doing here. This is going horizontal, and I'm just making sure that I have enough ribbon, which I actually did learn that I did not buy enough. So what you're gonna see me doing is improvising, but my ribbons were, I think each reel was 4 yards. So I needed 12 yards and I only had 8. So I am improvising and I am using the fabric remnant that I have, and I'm making my own ribbon to weave. And you, of course, if you have enough fabric, you can skip this part, or if you have enough ribbon, you can skip this part. If not, this is what I'm doing. Of course, you have to get the seams. You have to hide the seams, so I took it over to the ironing board. Once that was done, it was pretty much straightforward. We are going to take the long ribbons and weave them through the vertical ribbons that have already been hot glued to the box. The only real tip I have for this part is just making sure you start your ribbon underneath a vertical ribbon. That way you can, disguise where it starts and stops, like so. Right here, I was a little unsure but hopeful about how this polka dot was going to look. Let me know in the comments what you would have done. Done a neutral color, a neutral ribbon, or improvise. I actually think at the end, it kind of comes together, but you let me know in the comments. And here we are finished with this part. As you see, I'm just weaving them in and out, making sure I continue the pattern. When it comes to the bottom, you're just going to get your hot glue gun and you're going to glue all of the ends all the way around, just like that. This was my first time doing a box like this, and the one thing I wish I would have done was cut the insides before I started the entire project, or got the proper measurements. Everything was cut a little too large, and you'll see I have to make adjustments of that and cut them down so all the pieces can fit. But you have 4 sides, and then you have a top and a bottom, so that's 6 squares that will be cut out in total. This part is also straightforward. I'm just laying out all of the inserts and I'm doing an outline, but remember you need to leave like a 1/4 inch allowance to go, fabric allowance to go around the cardboard, because you will be hot gluing the fabric to the insides. And you're just going to cut it out, and there, as you see, that's why it's important for you to give yourself like a 1/4 inch fabric allowance so that it can just fold right over. And here are my pieces. I know when I got to this part, I was so excited because I was like, oh, we're almost finished. But that's when I ran into the issue of everything not fitting. And so I had to go in and see, like, cut a 1/4 inch off of the cardboard, and then everything fit perfectly and it was smooth sailing. I decided not to cut the cardboards at the top and let the overhang stay because I had trim and I really wanted to use it, and that was like the perfect way to incorporate the trim, is to allow the polka dotted inserts to stick out from the sides. Oh yes, and this also is needed. This is the bottom piece, to help kind of give it a more finished look. And you see the overhang here. This is what I mean. I just added the trim there and boom, it ended up completing this box. This project took me a little longer because it was my first time doing it, and I had, like the trial and error with not having enough ribbon, and also having like the wrong measurements for the inserts. But this was really fun to make, and I am going to do some more, hopefully giving you guys some other ideas as to what you can do. But my daughter loved it. She was so amazed that I made it, and she was very quick to put her toys. But let me know what you think. I love it. It can be in the bathroom, a guest room, a closet. There's so many uses for it. And I'm going to show you guys how to do another one. Okay, bye.